How's it going, everybody? Since I get so many questions about my bikepacking setup, what I carry, how I get it all to fit, and because everybody loves gear videos, figured I'd show you my backpacking gear setup, how I've got it, what I've got, where it's at. So here we go. I guess we'll start with the heart of the system, and that is going to be the bike. It's a 2020 Surly Bridge Club. It's a medium frame. I am running tubeless with the Hutchinson skeleton tires. Fully loaded, I run about 28 to 30 pounds. When I'm just me on it, I'll run about 26 and 24, somewhere in there. I have upgraded the regular bars to Jones 2.5 SC loop bars, and I have went to clipless pedals. Everything else is factory from Surly. That's the only modifications, I guess, if you will, that I've done to the bike. So I guess what we'll do is we'll start at the front and work our way around to the cockpit, to the frame bag, and to the seat bag, and we'll go through all of those. Here in the front, strapped to my front bag, I've got my REI Flex-Like chair. For me, after spending all day on the saddle, just having a pad and sitting on the ground doesn't do it. I need an actual chair. It weighs 1 pound. It fits great there. Haven't had any issues with it. It's a wonderful chair. I really like it. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna set it up so I can sit in it while I show you everything else, because it's super easy to set up too. It just comes in its own stuff sack. Roll it out. The legs are all connected with the bungee cords. See, it's a little dirty, but a little dirt never hurt nobody. Get your frame put up. It's got little tabs for it to go in. You just slip those in. Boom, you got a chair. The bag I have is a Rock Brothers dry bag. It's just an inexpensive bag off of Amazon. It originally comes with its own way to attach to the handlebar, but I don't like that system, so I cut it off. And I use a Salsa Anything Cradle. Now, I think the Salsa Anything Cradle is great, but for some reason, Salsa quit making it. So, the Cradle system has clips that hold the bag. It mounts to your handlebar. These adjustable quick clips. Sort of any other type of bike packing cradle that's out there. I think one's called the Sweet Roll or whatever. It's basically the same thing. But I got the Salsa one. I really like it. It works really well. It's nice and, I mean, it's on there. It's nice and stout, and it holds the weight really well. So, what do I have in here? Let's get into it. As you can see, this is just a Rock Brothers inexpensive bag from Amazon. You can see where I cut all of the attachments off of it. This is the built-in bungee system that I use to hold the chair, and it hasn't went anywhere. Inside this bag, it is just your standard roll bag. Inside is my sleep system. I've got my tarp tent, Pro Trail Lee. This is a Dyneema one-person tent. Works great. Super small, weighs a little over a pound. I'll set it up and show you what it's like. My sleep pad is the Thermarest X-Therm, the new style with the little wing. This is a pad that I think is made by magical elves because it is so incredibly warm. It's amazing. It's not the lightest, but it packs down well and it works inside my tent and it keeps me warm. Also inside here, I suffer from sleep apnea, so I have to take a Cpap machine with me. I've got a battery backup, battery powered Cpap. I carry the mask and the hose and the battery inside here, along with the heat exchange. This takes your breath moistens the sponge type material that's in here, and then when you breathe in, it's not just a dry air, you're actually getting some moisture brought back in, so you're not just dying of dry air. But that all goes inside there. And the last thing in my front row, might be easier to undo it from this side, is my sleeping bag. I will take different ones depending on the temperature, obviously. This last trip, I brought my Enlightened equipment, Apex 30-degree quilt. So far it's been great. Love the bright colors. The Apex has done well for me so far. One thing is, don't really like the little cinch system here. I wish it could cinch tighter and do something easier with these long bungee cords. I might end up just tying them, I don't know, figuring out something, because they came untied and my toes would stick out. So the zipper stayed, but my toes would stick out. So I'm going to show you what this all looks like set up, but first I've got to get the poles for the tent out of the frame bag. So I'll show you the frame bag and then I'll show you everything set up. And here's the frame bag. This is made by Urban Desert. They've got their own little website. They're on the lower expense level, but so far I haven't had any problems with them. I've got their feed bags and their frame bag. They're pretty economical, made in America, and they look good on the bike, so I don't have any complaints so far. Inside my frame bag, toilet paper, food, extra water purification. These are the Sawyer bags in case I need to carry extra water. So far I haven't. I've also got a extra seal for the Sawyer, poop trail, Sawyer squeeze. I like this one. I use the same size for hiking, backpacking, camping. I don't like the mini. I think this one works way better. An expensive, cheap plastic spoon. It was actually my granddaughter's, and I stole it from her. Cook kit. This is a Toaks 550 titanium. I found 550 works for me. Got the lid, lighter, the BRS 3000 Amazon stove, a little thing of jet boil, and then my titanium cup. I've got my toolkit. I don't have a whole lot in my toolkit. I've got a spare tube. I've got some CO2 cartridges for air. I've got a toolkit for the chain and a multi-tool with just about everything you need to work on a bike. I've also got just a little rag, and then some patches in case my tube, I run tubeless, but in case I need to run a tube, I can put a tube in, and then if I have to patch the tube, I can patch the tube. And then just some tire levers that are attached to the tube. All of that fits inside this now nice little pouch right here. And then a repurposed bag that has the poles for the tarp tent. And that's my frame bag. Right here on my fork bag, this was a birthday present from my wife. It's a Gorix, G-O-R-I-X. It's a frame and a bag in one. Once again, an Amazon. But man, it's worked great so far. I really wasn't for sure if I would like it. And I was really kind of worried about, you know, turning the wheel and it hitting the frame. I had no issues. It's worked great. But this is my cold weather gear, my snivel gear. I'll just go ahead and show you what I got in here. On top, I've got my REI. This is a wind jacket, basically. It can work as a very light rain jacket, but it will wet out really quickly. But it works great for keeping the wind off of you. So early in the morning or when it's cool, I wear this a lot just to give me a barrier, a wind barrier. So, you know, when you're doing 20 miles an hour down the road on your bike, down a hill, and it's like 50 degrees out, it's pretty chilly. Throw this on, at least gives you some sort of protection. I've also got just an inexpensive pair of work gloves. These are insulated slightly, Milwaukee work gloves. The rubber grip works really well on the handlebars. And like I said, they got a little bit of fleece in them, just something to keep the chill off. I've also got, here we go, my Enlightened equipment toward when I get to camp and I need something to put on that's warm. I'll put this on. This is too warm to ride in or to ride with, to wear. So it's always right there. I can easily get to it, stuff it back in there as needed. And then I got the straps for my quilt. I usually don't use them, but just in case it's really cold, I'll throw the straps down here in the bottom. And then I've got my wool Gator. This thing is great. I can use it as a mask. I can put it as a hat. I can twist it and make a toboggan out of it. It's just a great multi-purpose wool Gator. And that's my cold weather gear in this bag. What's great about this bag too is it's super quick and easy to take off. And the frame stays mounted to the bike. Very minimal, very unobtrusive. And if you don't want to use this, you could, you know, strap a water bottle or something on there. Whatever you need to strap on, you can strap on because of the frame. Very similar to the Salsa here on the front. I really like it. Gives me a good attachment point, and nothing's in the way. All right, so let's go into the cockpit. The cockpit's where I get most of the questions asked. I've got just an inexpensive trip computer, and then I've got a Surly Moloko bag. Even though I'm running the Jones bar, it fits good inside there. Of course, it would fit a little bit better with the Surly bar instead of the Jones, but it works for me. Inside this bag, I've just got my electronics. This is backup battery, headphones, charging cables, headlamp, anything that requires batteries or has to do with electronics goes inside there. On the outside, I've got my Spot X. I might end up going to the Garmin Mini InReach, or the Garmin InReach, the little one. A lot of people really like that, and I don't know. When this dies, that's probably what I'll go to, but until this dies, it works. It gives me the SOS capabilities. I can be tracked if I want to send tracking, and I can send text messages via satellite. It is slow, and they also do not, it's a very quiet little ding if you get a message. I mean, very, very quiet. So you just have to pay attention to if you're getting messages, if you're sending messages, because you won't hear it. Like I said earlier, the bars are the Jones 2.5 SC loop that gives you a 2.5-inch reach, brings them up. And then the swooping 45s, they're very comfortable. You've got tons of different hand options. One of my favorite is to be setting down, and I'll actually lay my forearms across here, put my hands here in the center, and I'm just kind of almost like aero bars instead of being right here. I mean, it's a little less aerodynamic, but it's still very comfortable. The bags, my feed bags, I keep just inexpensive, specialized water bottles in them. I got a specialized bicycle shop nearby. So that's why I got specialized stuff. It's the cheapest, closest place. These water bottles, I got them because they're red and they match the bike. That's about it. But I carry 2 water bottles inside the feed bags. They do bungee cord up and closed really well. You're not gonna lose them. The feed bags are from Urban Desert, same maker as the frame bag, and haven't had any problems with them. The next, it's a little hard to see. I've got just a standard cheap Walmart fanny pack. I wrap around the feed bags and up and around the front of the handlebars and connect it behind the Salsa anything cradle. Inside here, I've got in the front pouch drink mixes for electrolytes. Center pouch, I've got lube for my chain, and that's where I keep my snacks too. I'm out of snacks basically. And then on the back of it, it's a little pouch. This is where I keep my driver's license and a little bit of cash and 1 credit card. That's all I take with me. And like I said, it comes around and attaches. I've had 0 issues. It's rode perfectly right there. It's never came loose. It's never spun around. It's never fallen off of the frame bag. Getting it to where it locks in basically with the Salsa anything cradle is just kind of dumb luck, but it really works. So been very happy with it. Inexpensive fanny pack. I can always take it off the bike, throw it on me. I've got my money, my ID, and I can go somewhere if I need to. But yeah, so that's the cockpit. Back here at the seat bag, this is a Topo Gear, Top Gear, Amazon bag. Toe Peak, maybe. Top Peak? Something like that. I can't remember. But it's just a standard bag. It does have a dry insert, and this is where all my clothing goes. I've also got a, see if it's still charged up. Yeah. Little flashing or solid on. Little tail light. Whenever I hit more of a populated area, when I'm not just on dirt roads out in the middle of nowhere or on a trail somewhere, I'll turn that on, make it a little bit easier for traffic to see me. Here on the back, I'll occasionally put stuff underneath the bungee cord system as needed. Not that big of a deal, nothing crazy. First thing inside the bag is my actual raincoat. Now this is a Gore-Tex Patagonia. It's a great raincoat. I could use this and not use the lightweight REI wind jacket. I could use this for a wind jacket, but this is really too thick and I get too warm in this. So the REI will work as a wind jacket and as a light rain jacket, but if it's anything other than a light mist, I've got to put this on. And it's a great rain jacket, great Gore-Tex Patagonia. Big pockets on the side, zips up. It's got a great hood, fits over a helmet perfectly. It's got adjustments on the back to pull it tight. I don't know the model number or name, I just know it's a Patagonia. Yeah, the tag's totally worn out on the inside, but it is a Gore-Tex Patagonia jacket. That's the first thing inside the bag. Once in here, I've got the dry sack. Now this dry sack is amazing. It has a valve on it. Cram everything in there with the valve open, roll it down and you push all of the air out and you get a really good compact package, and then you close the air and it stays stuffed in. I mean, excellent. Great waterproof. Whatever bag this is, it came with this. It's the, like I said, Toe Peak, Top Peak, I can't remember the name of the company, but it's great. Inside here, you can open that, and then you start seeing it lose a little bit of that definition, allows that air to come in. Inside here is my clothing. And when I ride, I will generally ride with like a fishing shirt on. They're sun protection, they're very comfortable. I actually prefer them over like any of the skin tight stuff. I'm not going fast enough to have to worry about the wind resistance brought on by my shirt, and I'm never in that big of a hurry to be worried about the wind resistance brought on by my shirt. So generally I'll wear wool socks with my cycling shoes, a pair of biking shorts, generally specialized, once again because I've got a specialized shop nearby, and then padded underwear, a fishing shirt, and sometimes I'll wear a t-shirt under the fishing shirt, like a Under Armour type shirt, something like that. Just depends. Sometimes just the fishing shirt. But that's usually what I've got on my body. That and this hat here. This hat is awesome. I'm just going to talk about it real quick and then I'll get to the bag. This is Randy Joe Fabrications. This is their tropical weight wool. And for down here in Arkansas, it's amazing. In the summertime, it's not too hot. In the wintertime, it gives you just a little bit underneath my helmet. Fits perfectly. Keeps all the sweat from running down into my face when I do get hot. Super great hat. Might be a little expensive, but for a homemade, US made, small business hat, I'm really pleased with it. So inside here, first I've got my sleep pants, camp pants. These are actually the PT pants, outer pants that I had from when I was in the Army. Don't know who makes them. They're called PT pants. They're kind of like a mixture of wind pants and sweatpants. They're awesome. They will keep you warm while you're sitting around camp. They've got zippers on the legs, so you can open them up and slide them on and off without having to take off your shoes. They're not the lightest thing in the world. There's probably better out there, but you go to an Army surplus and get a pair of PT pants for like 12 bucks, I think you're gonna be hard pressed to beat them. But PT pants. First aid kit. Pillow. Spare underwear, padded underwear. I've got sleep socks for when my feet get cold and I want dry socks, but inside here is where I keep it padded. This is my portable Cpap. It's the Transcend 3 micro Cpap. The battery, when the battery's charged and everything's in working order, I'll get about 3 days travel time with it, so not too bad. Very expensive, had to buy it on my own. If you have sleep apnea and you need a CPAP machine like I do, this is really hard to beat. If you go to Transcend's website, they will often be running special deals, package deals, and you can save money that way. But it sucks because they consider this little air pump a medical device, so they're able to charge an arm and a leg. And then the last thing in my clothing bag, oh sorry, two last things: a change of socks and a sleep shirt. This is just a base layer. I'll put this on, take off my shirt that I've been wearing, my fishing type shirt, put this on when I get to camp, and there you go. That's pretty much it. I'll show you what everything looks like set up now. The Tarp Tent Pro Trail Lee is super simple to set up. I bought these from Tarp Tent as well. These are the Easton poles that you can use to set it up instead of using a trekking pole. They're hard to find on their website, but they are there. If you're going to be on a bike, these fold down smaller, I think, than my trekking poles do, so I combine these. It's a little dirty and a little wet from my last trip. That's why I've got to set it up today. Let it air out. So you just roll it up. Here's the stakes. You start at the back. That way when you unroll it, you know which way you're going, you know where you're at. And the stakes that come with it are these little Easton spikes. They're great. I've had zero issues with them. You're gonna take your short pole. Your long pole is for the front. It's obvious which one's which. You can see they just snap together. Short pole in the rear. It goes right in the center. There's a grommet here. Go through the grommet, set it down. You've got two strings, one on each side, for your tie out. You want to pull them out at roughly a 45-degree angle and stake them. Come to the other side, go roughly a 45 again. Come to the front, and here in the front, you unzip the front door just a little bit at the top, and there's a pocket that's reinforced right here. You want to take this end, go down inside, get it stuck in the pocket, line up and pull straight. And here on the corners, on each corner you got another little piece of guy wire, guy line. We're gonna pull out so there you have it, pretty much set up. You can come around, address any pitch or anything that you need to, tighten down your spikes, whatever you need to do. And there's that set up, ready to go. The door, I always go ahead and just zip that up. Unzip from down here. The door rolls up. There you go. You can adjust the tautness of these straps down here to make your bathtub floor stand up tighter. And then it is a central enter. I don't know how you'd say that. You do enter through the middle. So if you have to, you can scoot this pole over to get in. It'll still stand up, and then whenever you get back inside, whatever, you can move it back. But it works great. That is the Pro Trail Lee. Tent's awesome, super lightweight. I use it for backpacking. 4 stakes to set it up, that's it. 4 stakes and 2 poles. So in the far back, you can't really see it in there. You can open up the back door and that will allow through ventilation. You can see how wet it is from my last trip. That's why I've got it setting out here. I just want to make sure it dries out. So anyway, that would be set up with my air mat and my quilt inside there with all of my extras and all my goodies. I've got plenty of room. I can store everything inside. Believe it or not, it's kind of hard to tell, but this thing has a great vestibule as well. So you can close the door. You've got several feet in front of you for your shoes or for whatever to keep it out of the wet. If it starts raining, close the door, zip it down, and your vestibule is perfect. I mean, it's a 1-person tent that I would call a 1+ because there is enough room for my 25-inch wide pad, and then I can store gear on each side of it. So works great for backpacking and for bike packing. So anyway, that's my gear. That's everything I've got. That's what I take with me. Looks like a yard sale. But that's it. That's all my gear that I take bike packing, and that's how I fit it all on the bike. Thank you guys for watching. Enjoy. Like, subscribe, going on right about now. We'll see you next time.